Frequently asked questions. How can I overcome orthorexia? If I allow myself to eat junk and sugar, will I start craving it, and will this craving then stay with me forever? Will I start to binge and gain weight well past my target? That's the questions we're covering today. I frequently receive messages sharing concerns that eating quote unquote bad foods will lead to binging and result in weight gain, lack of self-control around these junk foods, and gaining past an arguably arbitrary goal weight. However, first off, these fears are completely ungrounded. Research has in fact shown that most recovered patients return to more controlled eating anyway after hospital admission compared to non-affected individuals, and that they are generally more alert and aware of health benefits and the like of certain foods. So compared to people that have never suffered from an eating disorder, those that have generally are already more alert and more aware of these things. So it is unlikely that you'll lose all control. In further research by Steinglass and colleagues in 2011, anorexic patients, whether in an acute state or whether recovered or in recovery, showed a reaction no different from controls when shown low-calorie foods, although they reacted more adversely to high-calorie foods. Details of the study can be found if you follow the link in the description. But this research, in my opinion at least, merely suggests that facing fear foods is a good thing in recovery and not something that should be avoided or feared because of potential disadvantages. The advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. It merely hints at the necessity of exposure therapy in reintroducing bad foods into the diet to regain a normal relationship with food. The advantages are regaining this normal relationship with food, overcoming fears, not being controlled by fears or obsessing over food, and being able to go out and be spontaneous and recover fully. I certainly think the pros outweigh the cons. As might ring true for more amongst you, eating healthy foods for me used to be a thing. It used to make me feel better and safer than eating foods that were seen as potentially not as good or as unhealthy. I feel like I still eat mainly healthy foods. I'm a big fan of fruits and vegetables and all of that good stuff, but I do eat what some consider bad. Potatoes or bread daily. I eat, well, in this weather, at least an ice cream a day. I don't think twice if I'm being offered biscuits or cookies. And do I still think I'm eating healthy? Yes. Am I restricting in any way? No. Am I free to do as I like? Certainly. And this is a great feeling, and it's part of recovery. And I think it's something to strive for because it is worth it. So I do eat ice cream almost every day. I do eat chocolate almost every day. I eat bread every day. I don't restrict. I don't fear pre-made foods or high sodium, high sugar things. And that's good. For me, this is healthy. For me, this works. Anyway, the question at hand is how I overcame my fear of certain foods, and whether this was mostly a good or a bad thing. So it has been mostly a good thing. And how I mainly overcame it was through my experience in Belgium, in the hospital there, because we would have pudding every morning with breakfast. We would also have milkshakes every morning for morning snack. We would have a dessert with lunch. We would have either chips, chocolates, biscuits, ice cream, or cake for afternoon snack. And then with dinner, there would be a dessert. And in the evening, our snack was bread. We also just had a lot of bread because it's really a staple in a regular Belgian diet. And I was shocked at the amount of snack food we were given, but I was told that this was normal, this was a regular person eats, and For me, this didn't really ring true because I was always the kid that didn't really snack a lot, but it did help me overcome certain fears and become more comfortable eating certain foods. When I then returned home from hospital, guess what? First off, I didn't gain and gain and gain weight, and I did not become addicted to these foods. I basically went back to what I ate before, what I like, what my body craves, what I intuitively want. Also, newsflash, I overcame my fears. So I can eat anything and everything without freaking out. And that's awesome. So, if you are ready to face these fear foods and to ensure that they no longer hold any power over you, then go ahead and eat that chocolate bar. Go ahead and order that scary food at a restaurant and so on. You can easily return to listening to your body and to eating what your body tells you it really is craving. So for now, plop in all those snacks and all those things that you're afraid of, and then once you know you can deal with them, once you are no longer afraid of them, go back to listening to what you really want, because probably you're not going to be wanting to eat these foods every single day. And even if you do want to eat them every single day, that's of course totally fine. But at first it's, I think, a good idea to incorporate them frequently, at least for the time being, in order to overcome the fear. So after I overcame my fears, I decreased my intake of sweets a little bit because I mostly crave savory things. That was the case for me. It might differ per person. Whatever you do though, don't forbid yourself from eating certain foods. Do not say that anything is not allowed. And don't go back to 100% clean eating, because I don't think anyone functions perfectly well eating 100% clean. I mean, what is 100% clean to start with? Recovery is physical and it is mental. So if you've reached your goal weight, but you're still unable to go out for an unplanned ice cream or spontaneous cookies or to go out to a restaurant, then I don't think that really is recovery. So challenge yourself, establish new routines and habits, and kick your inner health guru in the butt, because you deserve it. Health means balance, and balance means listening to your head and to your heart, to your body and to your soul. So, if like me you want nothing but peanut butter for a few days, then do it. I mean, it's just a few days and you need the calories anyways. If all you crave is ice cream, then do that. Cravings do change. Your body is to be trusted. Newsflash. Your body will tell you what it wants and what it needs. Newsflash. Its needs and its wants will change over time. Having a craving and ignoring it will merely increase the craving, and it will just make you miserable. However, if you listen to the craving, your body will be satisfied. It knows that it has received what it has asked for, what it needed to function in a certain way or to carry out some action in your body. If you ignore your cravings, they will just increase, whereas if you listen to them, your body will be satisfied and it can now move on. It's no longer going to ask you for the same food over and over and over till the end of time. That's not how it works. So do it, and don't be afraid to eat badly for the moment. In recovery, there's no such thing as a bad food anyways. So keep going. Do it now. Take a moment to consider. Are you hungry right now? Are you? What are you craving? Think about it. Now go and get it. But obviously don't forget to push the big red subscribe button below first, and I'll see you soon.